Buzz's retirement garage. I was just sitting here throwing peanuts to the blue jays. Watched a catbird. I think it's called a catbird, according to my app. It just came by. So as I tossed peanuts to the blue jays, it was funny. I was sitting here at my table in the back here. I just got done cutting the grass not long ago. Now here in Cleveland, and and a lot of other places, you're looking at, we had a heat index of 104 and it was 94 degrees, and it's still 94, although it feels better because the sun is going down here in the evening. I think it's around 7 something, I don't know. And it got me to thinking, because my neighbor said, he came home and he says, did you cut your grass today? And I said, yeah. And it's funny because every year, now I'm 65 now, but every year in the spring, when I go to cut in spring and the summer, I gauge my physical fitness by how much I can push the lawnmower. You know, do I have to take any breaks? Now my front lawn is only like 60 foot wide, and I'm not even sure how long. It's not a huge yard, but every spring, like I said, in summer, I'll sit there and I'll think, you know, can I do this? Or how do I feel? You know, after a long winter, maybe, you know, we didn't exercise as much, or, you know, you get a little lackadaisical. And, man, can I do it? Well, I've been cutting pretty good this year, and I thought, okay, still at 65, I'm not doing too bad. Now, I actually push an Ego electric battery-powered mower, and that deck is so light compared to my Honda that I had to use the self-propelled because that deck was very heavy metal deck. And so pushing the Ego is really easy to do. I don't use the self-propelled at all. For one, it's because it's easy, and two, I don't wear down the battery by using the self-propelled, so I can cut the front and side and back usually on one battery charge. So, you know, he's asking me, how did you do that? Because he had cut his Saturday, or the other day. Yeah, today's Monday, so he cut his Sunday, I should say. And today's Tuesday. You know you're retired when you don't know what day it is. And he had cut his Sunday, and he was struggling. I mean, he was really struggling. And because it's been hot, you know, it's been 93, 94 for 3 days in a row. I think we get a break starting tomorrow with some rain coming in. And the bugs are out too, jeez. So I was wondering from you guys, you know, and I was out in 103, which, yeah, it's dumb, but it's like, okay, it's hot, but, you know, other people have it worse. Why should I stop doing something just because it's a little warm? Well, by the time I got done cutting, it was like, wow. I mean, I'm drenched. This shirt, you know, my old guy's rule shirt, and I'm drenched, just absolutely drenched. And, you know, I got some water in me, and I thought, man, that wasn't worth it. It just was not worth the effort. I was struggling, and the last few cuts, I was like, oh man, I got to finish this, but at what cost? You know, is Mrs. Buzz going to look out the window and see me laying in the grass? You know, she'd probably, first thing she'd do is finish it up and then call the ambulance. So, but yeah, so, and for you guys, like, I know we have a lot of subscribers that are down south or out west, and, you know, like Arizona. One guy's out there, or there's a couple guys out there, who, you know, you started, like, I think in March you started 100 degrees and you just keep going up from there, and you're doing that for months. So, like, how do you get stuff done when it's constantly, you know, triple digits? Or down in Florida, or you know, there's people in South Carolina, we have some in Texas, you know, from Alabama, Louisiana, everywhere. And I'm curious, do you guys just get used to it? Like, do you go out, or you just, you know, pick a day that's the lowest temperature possible? Or do you just go out and, like me, I just try to get it done? And, you know, and age. Like, at what age did you just, like, hold on, gotta throw a peanut. At what age did you just say, nope, that's it, I'm done with this, and I hired a service? Or, you know, you did something different, or you're paying somebody to do it, you know, kid down the street or whatever. At what age did you do that? I'm curious. So I'm 65 now. Could I do this in 103 degree apparent heat, they call it? But 94, 95, that's hot. And could I do this when I'm 70, 75? You know, is it possible that I could do that, or will I just drop dead? And, you know, like Mrs. Busby looking out the window, hey, where'd you go? I'd like to get your feedback on that. I'm curious. Like, I should do a poll on it. But I'm just curious. Like, you still do it at 65, 70, 75? Where do you cut the line and just say, hey, I'm having somebody else do it? Anyway, Cleveland, hopefully tomorrow it's going to be nicer and the temperatures will drop. And thank goodness for air conditioning. Like we said in a couple other videos in the past and some of our lives, I didn't have central air conditioning until 1997. Can you imagine that? I never had central air. We had window air conditioners, box fans, ceiling fans. You know, when growing up, we never even had ceiling fans. So it's real. Oh, I swallowed that one. Did you see that bug go in my mouth? Oh my gosh. That's tasty. I get your protein in, you know. But yeah, we didn't even have, you know, ceiling fans or anything like that growing up. So, and, you know, I don't think Cleveland weather was that bad. I mean, you had it here and there, but it wasn't too bad. So nowadays, you know, it's like, you know, it's getting, you know, you have your cycles of warm and the humidity's not bad, but then you have it like now, it's like 95 and high humidity, which is just almost unbearable. But we try to gut it out, you know. So at what age do you quit gutting it out? That's the question. Anyway, I hope you're staying in the air conditioning if you're in this heat dome, as they call it. And take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again.